如何用英语表达打抱不平？打抱不平可以用多种英文表达，包括
Advocate for the underdog. She tends to advocate for the underdog.
她倾向于为弱势群体辩护，为弱者发声。
Advocate for fairness. They advocated for fairness in the judging process.
他们为评审过程的公平性而呼吁，倡导公平。
Call for justice. Activists are calling for justice for victims of racial discrimination.
活动人士正在呼吁为种族歧视的受害者伸张正义。
Highlight unfairness. Gamers frequently create threads to highlight unfairness in competitive rankings.
游戏玩家经常创建帖子来强调竞争排名的不公平现象。
Championed. He has long championed the rights of those facing unfair treatment.
他长期以来一直捍卫那些遭受不公平待遇的人的权利。
Condemn. Players have taken to social media to condemn the unfair treatment in online matches.
玩家们纷纷在社交媒体上谴责网络比赛中的不公平待遇。
Defend. It's important to defend those who cannot defend themselves.
保护那些无法自我辩护、保卫自己的人很重要。
Defend the rights of. She defends the rights of those who face discrimination.
她为遭受歧视的人辩护，捍卫权利。
Defy the oppressors. We must defy the oppressors and stand firm in our fight for equality.
我们必须反抗压迫者，在争取平等的斗争中坚定不移。
Denounce injustice. Gamers denounced the injustice of excluding their favorite games from the online competition nominees.
游戏玩家们谴责将他们最喜欢的游戏排除在在线比赛提名之外的不公正行为。
Not accept injustice. We will not accept injustice any longer. We demand change.
我们不再接受不公正，我们要求改变。
Mobilize support for. They used social media to mobilize support for the new policy.
他们用社交媒体为新政策动员，争取支持。
Push back against. They pushed back against the unfair decisions made by the judges.
他们对评委做出的不公平决定进行了反击。
Object 2. They objected to the unfair policies outlined on the official site.
他们对官方网站上列出的不公平政策表示反对。
Raise objections to. She raised objections to the unfair rules of the competition.
他对比赛的不公平规则提出了异议。
Speak out against. She was one of the few who dared to speak out against abuse of power in the company.
他是少数敢于公开反对公司滥用权力的人之一。
Shatter the silence. It's time to shatter the silence and confront racial injustice head on.
是时候打破沉默，直面种族不公。
Stand up for. She always stands up for her friends when they are treated unfairly.
他总是在朋友受到不公正对待时，为他们挺身而出，打抱不平。
Stand up against. People stood up against the new policy that would impact businesses.
人们纷纷站出来，反对将影响企业的新政策。
We stand unyielding. Together, we stand unyielding against the tide of racism.
我们团结一致，坚定不移地反对种族主义的浪潮。我希望这些例子可以帮助大家更好地表达和运用打抱不平的理念。整理不易，敬请点赞、评论、转发、收藏、订阅，打开小铃铛，下期再见。